This is Leviticus chapter 3 with commentary. We also have Leviticus without commentary, chapter 3 without commentary. It's in the shorts tab along with the other shorts, chapter 1 and chapter 2, and there's commentary for those as well. And we have all of Genesis and Exodus on our channel as well. We're just moving on forward with that. So far, the chapters in Leviticus have been pretty short. This is another short one. We'll see if things start getting longer as we move further into this book. But for right now, it's just going to be a pretty short chapter, and we're going to have a conversation about some of the topics in it. Let's get underway.
And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offer it of the herd, whether it be a male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron's sons the priests shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron's sons shall sprinkle the blood thereof round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof, and the whole rump, it shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Look right here. And the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. So, a couple things we want to talk about here. Let's start with the concept of the fat. Going deeper into the Strong's Concordance and looking at, what is the word used for fat. It does in the literal sense mean, the fat of an animal. But what's important is that it points out that the fat is the choice part of the animal. It is the best part of the meat and the offering. So the fat specifically is separated from the rest, and it is and all of that is completely given to God. So that is the very best of the offering. Okay? And then looking at the kidneys, it means the organ in the literal sense in the Strong's Concordance. But what's especially interesting is it also represents the mind or the inward self. So effectively, your inner conscience being the part of you that is aware and can rationalize and think, effectively your spirit, the thing that gives you true life, is what we're calling the mind here, but really just the spirit itself. So the kidney also has the definition of being the mind, which I thought was interesting. And then if we move on to where it mentions the flanks is the loin of the animal, but it's also a word for trust, confidence, and hope. So if we put all of these together, the kidney, the fat, the kidney, and the flanks, the deeper message we're getting here is that the offering is the very best part, the choice part of our mind, and our trust, confidence, and hope. I saw this and it reminded me of the scripture, or the scriptures, that say, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your mind, and with all your, is it soul? Might be strength. Basically, it says, love the Lord with all your heart and mind and spirit, effectively. Like you are giving every bit of your self, and especially your inward self, to Him. So, this is a greater message here because we're looking at these offerings as a very literal thing, which it was at that time. But because everything takes on a more spiritual meaning now, because the Spirit of God dwells in us, and we are the temple that the Spirit dwells in, and Jesus is within us. Now we have these same offerings taking their alternative meanings. And suddenly, what was before very grandiose and ritualistic gifts to God are now deeper inward things that we're giving that don't require such a ritualistic way of doing things. The best gift that we can give to God, the very best, the choice part of what we have to offer God, is our mind, which could be our attention and our focus and our devotion. And then also giving Him our trust, our hope, our confidence, basically having faith in Him. So the two greatest things that we can give Him is our attention and our faith. And I think that's pretty cool. It takes a whole new meaning to what's happening here. And I would argue that those things are even more important than these ritualistic physical animal offerings. Those were substitutes for what would really give us that connection to God, which is Jesus and our faith and devotion to Jesus. That's the true offering that Jesus made, and then the offering that we make ourselves is to put our focus and our attention and our heart and spirit and give them to Jesus. That's the real offering. That's the bigger offering. That's the deeper and more meaningful tribute to Him. When we offer ourselves, we are offering our mind and our hope and our trust and our confidence and our spirit. We're offering our inward self and the very best part of our inward self to Him. So now we have another reason for trying to do good, right? Because doing good itself is not the thing that gives us salvation. But now we're doing good to make an offering. Because if we're going to give Him the best parts of our inward self, we have to work on the best parts of our inward self. We have to create something, or rather we have to nourish and cultivate the good in us so that we can offer it to God. It becomes about Him. And the more we dig into this, the more we realize the less of this is about us and the more this is about God, the more this is about Jesus. And everything that we do is meant for God and belongs to God. And God gave us the best parts of ourselves, the fat of ourselves, to give to Him. It's not meant for our indulgence. It's not meant for our own personal enjoyment. It's meant for Him. And we will actually come across that and a scripture that states that later on if we keep watching. Let's keep watching really quick.
Way. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about. And he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver, with the kidneys, it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savour. All the fat is the Lord's. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood. And if his
Oh,
oblation...
my bad. Let's go back all the way to the end there, because it starts over. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings that you eat neither fat nor blood. There's very obviously some health implications there. Probably eating the fat of an animal is not the healthiest thing for us, and certainly not eating the blood. A lot of stuff wrong with any sort of mortal blood that can, pathogens and all that stuff and disease. But let's push past the literal here. We just discussed how important the fat is, that it is the best part. And using this metaphor, it's the best part of us. The fat is the best part of our inward self, of our mind, and of our trust, and of our hope, and of our faith, and of our spirit. The fat represents the best parts of our inward selves. We are not to eat the fat because the fat that is within us is not made for us. We are not made to indulge in our own goodness. The goodness that's in us has been placed in us by God, is from God, and the goodness that's in us is God, and it belongs to God. God puts this goodness in us. God puts these choice parts in us, the really good stuff in us, so that we can give it back to Him. It's meant for Him. It's meant to serve Him. The best parts of us, the parts that desire good and love mercy and hate evil and want to do good things. Those parts are meant to be given in service to God as an offering. It's not meant for our own pleasure. It's not meant for our own indulgence. So no, we should not eat the fat. The fat is for God. The best of us is for God. And that is the best of our attention and our focus, and the best of our faith and our heart and our love, and the best of our spirit, the whole encompassing spirit. Just the very best of our inward selves, the very best of ourselves entirely is for God and belongs to God, and we should be offering it to Him, not for our redemption, not for our salvation. No, we're already saved. The good is already in us. Jesus is already dwelling in us. No, we offer it to God, A, because it is God's, and B, because we are grateful to God for what He's done for us. This is to honor Him, not to appease Him, to honor Him. This is an act of love that we can give to Him. We're not able to give God a lot, and nothing that we give is equivalent to what He's given us. But what we can give Him, and what He finds to be important, is our attention and our faith and our confidence and our trust. And now, how do we apply this in our lives? It's simply put, making an effort to take time away from whatever we're focused on in this world and give it to God. Take time for God. Make time for God. Give yourself a moment to take a break from whatever task you're focused on, or whatever distraction is going on, or whatever anxiety you have, and give that attention and focus to God, and then put your faith and trust in Him to take care of those situations so that you can keep your mind on Him, to keep your mind on Jesus. Take as much as you can, as much time as you can, and as much energy as you can to put your mind on God in every possible situation when you have a free moment. If you, and this could be in any sort of thing, if you can find a break from work, try to give your attention to God, to Jesus. If you're working a job that is kind of like, mindless, or doesn't really require the focus of your brain, that's an opportunity to be giving your attention to God, silent attention to God. I used to work a factory job, and you know how a lot of factory jobs are. You get this muscle memory thing going, and your body just starts functioning, and your brain then gets to wander somewhere else. Take that time and give it to Jesus. Put your thoughts on him. Think about the things you're thankful for. Or think about how good he is. Think about ways that you can offer yourself to him. Like, put the focus on him. Really put him at the center in any opportunity you get. And our lives are short and we've got a lot going on, especially in this day and age. We keep ourselves pretty busy, but we should always be able to make time for God. What he wants from us is really simple, but also really complex. He wants our mind, he wants our focus, and he wants our heart, our trust and our hope and our spirit and our love. Those are the things he wants. These are simple things to give him, but it's not an easy thing to give him, right? Always. But that takes some effort to deliberately make the time for that. And that's something I'm working on, and I feel like making these videos has helped me allocate more time to God, because I'm right now studying his word. Even if it is to make content on YouTube, it is for the purpose of serving him. So I feel like that's a step in the right direction. And I hope you all become inspired to give him more of that too, to give him the fat of who we are. So that should do it for Leviticus chapter 3. Like I said previously, a bunch of other things you can be watching. The other two chapters in Leviticus, and then Genesis and Exodus, all of that's there too. Go check that stuff out if you haven't already. Plenty of stuff to learn, plenty of opportunities to get closer to God. I really enjoy doing this. Really enjoy making this and putting it out there and serving God, giving him the best of myself, or trying to. Um, I hope you all gained some stuff from this, gained some inspiration, gained some wisdom, gained some insight, gained something positive. Hope it did some good work for you. And I'm thankful that you're here listening to it and enjoying it. So that's really all there is to it. God bless, and go in peace.